Clean cut, yes,
What's
sir.
going on?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
2 power outages and an hour after start time.
Hell yeah, dude.
We in it. We in
got
it to win it.
did
We in it to
did
win it.
Hell yeah,
There you
bro.
go.
Well, welcome back to the FWABOOM podcast.
Yeah.
Episode 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a little batch of 10 episodes. So thank you for everyone that has been tuning in and kind of letting us know how you feel and kind of just going with this journey with us.
You know
what I'm
it's
saying?
it is a journey. This whole thing is a journey, and I would not want to be on this journey with anyone else. But
Hell
you guys,
yeah, dude.
to be honest.
We got it, bro. We got it. And the support, and we're building a community, so I really
I'm
feel
actually
good.
surprised you showed me that we're getting randoms on YouTube.
Dude, a lot of our viewership is non-followers. So
That's wild to me.
and then again
it's scary to me
that's
because
true.
now I'm just like, damn, people are actually listening to what I say.
Yeah, right.
kidding.
And you know what, man? We have an obligation to make sure we don't spread hate and misinformation.
I was gonna say this for the end of the episode, but I was gonna say. So this is technically episode 11, but
Yeah.
But yeah. Long story short, episode 10 was a train wreck.
Yeah, well,
bit of a train wreck.
episode XX, we don't really want to. We scrap that one.
Yeah. Episode unknown.
So so for people who are just kind of tuning in, this is episode 10. We're a lot of the times we can't find gold, and last week, 2 weeks ago maybe, I was sick as fuck.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I took Dayquil, and then I started drinking with you, and it was just, you could see progressively in the video, and hopefully one day we can release some clips from it and kind of show what was going on.
But yeah, again, I apologize to both of you guys. For those that don't know, we scrapped the video, but things got kind of heated during our little we have meetings, when we do our edits. And yeah. Again, I apologize.
No,
I'm an angry guy.
No, I appreciate that. The thing about it is that the awareness that we all have for each other and the boundaries that we have created for each other, that says a lot, because we have been friends for a while. And when we were on Discord having that meeting,
Right.
and then when I heard the tension or felt the tension through a screen, I was like, no, stop everything that we're doing. We're gonna hash this out, because it's just not healthy to leave stuff on the table.
Yeah, and it didn't help that Discord kept cutting my mic off every time.
That was very convenient.
That's why I started snapping and yelling even more, because hey John, your mic's on. I'm like, ah!
Right, because you're in the middle of a thought process, and me and
Yeah.
Sean were like, hey bro, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
So no, but at the end of the day, I'm glad we talk it out, explain why we feel a certain way.
Absolutely.
But back to the episode and why it got canceled. It was just a train wreck.
Yeah.
We were forcing it way too hard,
That's a good. We were.
And I just got off work, so it's one of those things, because we do this
Friday.
We do these episodes early in the day where we got plenty of energy.
Yes.
We're ready for the day.
The mind is going.
Yeah.
Places,
But like you said, you were sick that day. I just got off work, and then everything was just
we forced it. I guess that's a good word, because
and also we plan these editing days and these episode days prior.
Yeah.
So we don't know just yet how we're feeling.
Absolutely.
Until the
it's
day
like
of.
planning a fucking 6-month trip. You don't know if you get sick that week. I have anxiety, but when I do that, but but going back to it, man, I think we are all mature. We've all been friends for a long time. I think that. And I'll tell you the thought process, because when I opened the door for Sean, and Sean, I'm not gonna put you on the spot, but when Sean, he looked at me, he was like, "Did you just wake up?" And I felt like shit. I looked like shit, and so I was like, "All right, let me just slam this Dayquil real quick." I felt self-conscious for the podcast.
He did not just wake up, by the way.
No, and I did not just wake up, but I looked like shit. And then
we recorded an episode 4 almost,
right,
close to 4 p.m.
Close
Close to 4 p.m.
And so then Dayquil, and then we just. And then you said you drank too much coffee.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that.
Because I was tired from work,
so,
and I thought the coffee would wake me up, but instead it just made me more anxious.
Yeah, so we were just kind of going, and one thing led to another. And I will say this: when I look at myself, I'm usually fine. I know what I said. I'm very content. But that episode itself the amount of shame and embarrassment.
Right.
Because podcasting, like, I do want to make this a job and being a professional.
And you want to be genuine too.
I don't want to be genuine.
Right.
I don't know what threshold that is, but I do want to make this a normal thing, and I want people to trust and understand that, you know, we've developed as, you know, people, and I saw my image like backwards, like 20,
absolutely,
like 2015, 2014. Like, no, I cannot be saying that crazy shit online, bro.
Exactly.
I was also egging you on. I was also egging the fuck out of you, trying to get a reaction, you know?
I was so nervous every time. Like, that episode, again, train wreck, dude. Yeah,
there's some little, you know,
again,
gold, flakes that we can pick apart.
It's a fool's gold.
Definitely fool's gold. But
no, again, we don't script any of this, and that's why. So, no. Do you have anything on the agenda today?
Yeah. Well, as you say that, no, man. You know, I had an epiphany, bro. You know, I think that conversation was really, you know.
Oh, from that night.
That night, and I kind of just looked back.
When I yelled and all that.
Yeah. Well, it's, you know, again, being like this is different from being online and you know, trying to understand the mood and attitude. So, I had to look back because you were right, man. When we were watching it, I was so disconnected, and I was just out of the element. But I stuck with it. But then, like, I was definitely being disrespectful for not, you know, because we set up a time.
Yeah. We're not going to get too much into details.
Oh, no. But the epiphany was just, oh, hell yeah, dog. But the epiphany was like, if I had just taken a second, right? Oh, I got off of work. You know what I'm saying? I knew what I said on the podcast, and that's why I, like, already had a predetermination. But I'll say this. If I had just taken, and I feel like Rommel in front of you has always taken the time to just reflect and understand or try to control their emotions before be less reactive, right? Because I just reacted versus what is Sean going through today? What is John going through? I didn't know what you went through. I just thought about my feelings, and so I just disconnected.
Right. Yeah, no, and you pretty much, like, described the way I felt too. Like, it's just like I disconnected myself as well. You know, it's like one of those things that's like once you go through something, you kind of just like, I already know what you go through. Like, I already know what I'm about to go through.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with it again, right? Like, physically, mentally in that moment.
Yeah.
But no, I like I said.
Yeah. So the agenda is right. It's like what I wanted to talk about is slowing it down, right? I think that a lot of times my mind, I feel like I've always, and Van has said this. He's like, you talk faster than your brain can like fucking think.
Same. Same. No. Like,
I think this is why it works, but sometimes you just gotta slow it the fuck down.
We can't. There's something that I always like to say to people or like my close friends, like whenever I have a disagreement with them or whatever, and then we just end up arguing, I basically say, and it goes to me too, like, oh, you're not listening to listen, you're just listening to reply. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, you're not trying to digest everything that you're hearing from someone or whatever, blah blah blah. You know, and you're reactive.
Exactly, man. Exactly. And I think, you know, when I texted you afterwards, I was like, yo, I gotta do better. And that's why, like, right now, like, and also not to, you know, veer off of what we're saying, but you know what, my coworker, he brought some stuff up to me, and, you know, we do throw around the word not scripted, but, you know, he did say, like, you know, maybe it is a form of scripting because we always drink and get fucking belligerent. It's
a mask.
It's a mask. And he was like, you know, it's like, I want to see what Rommel and John look like without the mask or without the alcohol.
I'm all jittery. I'm all nervous. Who the fuck wants to see that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. And
there's a reason why they're on YouTube watching us. They just want to be entertained.
No, that's absolutely true. I think that
maybe the entertainment is them, like, seeing us how we fold under pressure.
Right. Oh,
maybe we should fold under pressure.
Maybe we're the clowns and we're on stage right now.
That's how I've always looked at my life, to be honest. There was something that I've, like, on my Tumblr days. My header on my Tumblr used to be the tears of a clown.
Yeah, that's actually deep.
No, yeah.
That's actually deep.
Do you remember the movie Watchmen?
Yeah.
Rorschach, he says a joke, or he explains a joke to someone, and then he basically says, like, oh, this clown is depressed, blah, blah. Or, no, sorry, spoiler. But this guy, he goes to a doctor. He says, I'm depressed, blah, blah, yada, yada. Doctor says, oh, here's a solution. This famous clown is in town. Go see him. You'll laugh. You'll feel better. And then he goes, I'm the famous clown.
And then he does that?
No, it's like, what do you do then? Like, Because the doctor said like, oh,
I thought the doctor was a famous clown.
no, the patient is a famous clown, and the doctor's telling him to go see the famous clown.
Oh, got it. I thought
he didn't know he was.
Wow, when did Watchmen come out? Because I don't remember. All I remember is the swinging blue dick.
Can we get a time?
Sorry,
a year on that?
Yeah, just remember the guy with the swinging blue dick, right? He's like Mr. Adam.
Bro, that was like Dr. Manhattan.
Sure.
If anything, that's how a god is born, right? Like through science.
Yeah. And I remember there was a lot of
2009.
The Watchmen show was a good one. I
haven't watched that yet.
That was a good one. I remember there was a lot of sex in the Watchmen.
I love the movie, and then I remember I went to a comic convention, WonderCon, after the movie came out, and this was when the height of my kleptomania. So I would go around the booths. Sorry to you guys that I stole from, but I would go around the booths and I would like just like steal whole ass like single issue comics that were like stacked together. Yeah. So that was like a $200 at the time, 200 like selling for $200.
Dude, I love that. You know, because that is.
I did it with clothes too at the convention. Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was
Holy
bad.
shit, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably got your fucking face painted on the, on the walls or something like that.
Who knows?
That's crazy.
I was what do you call baby face assassin back then. I got a beard now.
Dude, I'm telling you, last episode, 2 episodes ago, we talked about you being a spy. I think you would have been a really good spy.
Krasnov.
Dude, you would have blended in.
I'm a Krasnov.
When you whenever you go, traveling, do you ever feel like you need to blend in, or do you like play the tourist act? Because sometimes maybe that's a beneficial thing when you're in another country.
I believe in code switching, obviously.
Yeah. We code switch all the time. Yeah.
All the time. But when I went to Europe, in Paris, that one time, I mean, prior to all that, I would try to like learn a little bit of the language, mannerisms, etc. Like just like the daily life in Paris type shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I kind of like act more proper. You know what I mean? But
don't want to be the center of attention.
Yeah, because I remember
singled out.
I remember when I was in Paris and I just needed to go to like the corner store from my hotel, right? So I just went in my sweats, like pajamas. Yeah. Fucking Parisians, they're all about like like Tokyo, but like the fashion like sense, like
Parisians.
People of Paris.
Oh, is that okay? I didn't know that. Okay, cool. Yeah.
So I just remember I would keep getting like hella looks in this fucking store. Like I'm just getting fucking water and like sandwiches and shit. Like appearances matter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. First impressions, face value type of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, is that a generalization, or do you feel like that was just like that moment in time? Or
I think it is a generalization, a generalization of the moment.
That's fair. Yeah.
I mean, come on. I have access to the internet, and all I see from other people talking about Europeans. It's other Europeans talking about Paris.
Yeah.
They all have like the same kind of
that's fair.
opinion on them. Fuck, this is coming out bad.
No. I wanted.
This is how World War III starts.
I wanted to know.
Shout out to France. They decided to become. This is a little on the news and political side, but since America's backed out of like everything in Europe, everything in Europe, France has decided to step up as being the nuclear shield of Europe against like Russia, which is pretty fucking matey for all the shit that we talk about France and all that.
Yeah, I mean, we try to separate, I don't want to say church and state, but we try to separate the comedy versus real stuff that people, the audience want to be like, yo, what's important to these guys, and
I think what's important kind of seeps out from our conversation if they were to listen.
Absolutely,
read between the lines. They
and what you just said was, the world right now. I mean, I'm not gonna date, what the date is, but to think about the world right now, and especially what happened yesterday. I was kind of reading those articles, and I'm like, yo, I don't know if we're name dropping. Maybe we can keep it in. Maybe we'll talk about it later.
Say it, and then maybe we'll bleep it.
Absolutely. The Trump, had that conversation with the president of Ukraine the other day, and it wasn't even about the reason why they came together. They were in a room and they got in a shouting match, and I think that is unhelpful to the people of the United States, the people that are being affected. And what was the cost? The cost was time. The cost was ego. I would sue to as well.
And not only that, the whole world now looks at America. I mean, they kind of been already looking at us as like a fucking comedy show, but now it's like okay. So I was on Reddit like the other night or whatever after that whole thing with Zelensky and Trump.
I don't want to butcher his name.
No, that's fine. It's fine. How do I say this? All the comments were just saying like, these are people like Europe, like from around the world, and they're just saying, the Americans should do something, the people should do something, blah blah. Like, why aren't they doing anything? And then all I see in like replies are like, what the fuck do you want us to do? Yeah. Like, what can we do? Yeah. The people that do try to do shit, they don't get coverage. Yeah. Because the powers that be control the media. You know what I mean? It's stuff fucking, there's layers.
There's absolutely layers. I think like something that's happening right now is like the awareness of, February 28th, right? We're going to not consume or buy things from big corporations. Right. But
it's not just February 20th. I saw the calendar. It's like,
there's a calendar. No, but I'm saying like the awareness of it, right?
It's not getting.
But like, was there enough coverage to even make an impact on the 28th? Yeah. So I'll say this, man. The world is in a weird spot, and I think that you brought up. I mean, France stepping up to be the nuclear shield for Europe. I don't know the rest of the world, but Europe. It's hard because we're here, and I'll say this a million times. I am a patriot, but it does get tougher and tougher to. I don't want to say defend my stance, but definitely find the patriotism in our actions.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, our leaders are not being patriots. You know what I mean? They're going against the grain of what we stand for. Back to what I was saying about like when that post was saying like, oh, the Americans should do something. One of those Europeans were saying like, isn't that what the amendment for their gun rights is supposed to be for? He's right. Yeah. That's the whole reason for us having the right to bear arms in case the powers that be fuck us over.
What is the term? It's like tyrannical something. Tyrannical. Yeah. It's just like I've said this before and I'll say this again. Unfortunately, I take a stance of action when it is at my doorstep. And I know that's not the right answer. But I am not going to. I don't know. I don't even know.
No, because you kind of sense it, right? Like, like it doesn't really affect you until it's at your doorstep.
At my doorstep, yeah.
But things are wrong.
I know, absolutely, and that's not right. And I'm not saying that's right, but I'm saying right now in this moment, how do I take action?
Right, exactly. No, exactly. Yeah. And then those people would say like, protest, call your local representative, unionize. But then if I call the representative, are they really representing?
What does that conversation look like?
Yeah. Like, what is it, and where does it lead? Yeah. To, we unionize, but then what happens to the unions, the big corporations?
Well, the idea is that you're thinking that it's going to be overnight.
Right.
And not, and that's why I've always asked this question, like, what does reform look like? Right. Do you want to see it all burned down? And I think that's an amazing question because
I'm glad you brought that back
up. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what reform has done in X, Y, and Z, but sometimes you just want to see it burn down to restart anew. No. And it's a tough conversation.
I remember we said that a few episodes, like one of our first episodes back, and I was kind of like, not against what you're saying.
It's complex.
But I was like, but now, okay, fast forward to now, I'm like, honestly, low key, burning it to the ground is kind of like the only solution to it all, right? Yeah. It's scary to say.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And again, I have a family. Like you brought up a good point. I have a family. What does that look like? And again, no violence needs to be. I mean, on my side. Yeah.
Right. That's another thing, right?
Yeah. There you go. But I'll say this, man. Getting on the positive note, I definitely think that we are on a better spirits today. Versus the fucking last circus act that we had. But if you can think about a time, recently or, in the past, what does a perfect day look like? Like, have you imagined that you wake up, maybe it's, maybe sometimes people enjoy going to work. Maybe they like, a day off, or maybe you have plans in the morning. What does a perfect day look like to you?
Perfect day.
Yeah, man. You got a special kind of coffee you want to get, or a sandwich you want
to get? I guess my perfect day would be on a day off with no obligations, right?
So obligations is a good word.
Right. Yeah. So no obligations. I've already handled that throughout the week. Mm-hmm. So it's my day off. My perfect day is my day off. Wake up, do something, get your cortisol levels up, so you're awake. Yeah. It's fucking.
Feel like you had all the time.
Yeah. No, exactly. Because then recreation's important.
Absolutely.
Wellness. There's a reason why presidents play golf all the time.
Yeah, do it.
So I spend maybe a good couple of hours playing those games, etc. Yeah. And then back then, now you mentioned it, going to the city, exploring it. Yeah. And then I remember a few episodes back, you asked me before about the city and stuff, and then I said how I'm not a fan of it anymore. It's different. Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of it, and it's I think we're back, baby.
I think we're back
I think
too.
we're back. You know, like
Yeah.
I remember you would repost stuff, and you know, I was like, damn. I had too much hate in my heart. You know, I was blinded by the
man.
hate.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like I was still
Yeah.
in pandemic, John. You know, like but like seeing everything kind of be lively again.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of giving me hope. So my perfect day is just like seeing everything just be like there's no tension in the air. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
don't know, if, like that's probably a little complicated, but you don't feel tension in the air, and I guess that's subjective too as well.
Would you want like stuff on the list of things to do, or would you want to go with the flow? Because a lot of times you're like, I want to see this,
Yeah, yeah,
and I
yeah.
want to be here. But it's like sometimes you put a timestamp on it. You're like, damn, that gives me anxiety. Got
Yeah,
parking.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
I think no. I think my perfect days are the days that aren't planned. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That just happen,
Yeah.
and you just feel real good about that day.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, sure, there's a feeling of accomplishment, like when you plan a day out and then it goes everything
Checks the
according to, you know,
boxes.
and that's
Yeah.
good. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But there's days like it goes beyond like what you expected. You know what I mean?
No, I love that. And then maybe you learn a little bit about yourself.
Exactly,
Maybe the people
exactly.
that you're with, and you sharing moments, dude. Because I remember, like I brought this up to Van. I was like, parenthood is it's complex, right?
Absolutely.
There's always love in the air, but when's the last time we went on a date? When's the last time we we saw a
Right.
view?
Yeah,
When's the last
yeah.
time we shared a moment?
Right.
But I've always been in a space where I'm like, I don't want to dictate my life. I still want to. I don't know. It's weird, but I
You don't want to say the wrong thing, right? But then without it coming back. But
I want to
know, yeah.
look for not perfect days. I mean, nothing's perfect, but
Right.
definitely what does it look like? And I imagine other perspectives. That's why I just wanted to ask that question.
The perfectness is basically something that like makes your heart feel good at
That's
the end of the
good.
day.
That's good. Because with the podcast, kind of definitely advancing, and we got a batch of 10 episodes, and I think that a lot of people see like the consistency, the discipline. Who do you want to be on the podcast? Like, do you have like a somebody that you're like, I wish I could interview that person, or get like a perspective from that guy?
Damn. I mean, that list goes a long way. Like,
Yeah.
for example, you're wearing one of his beanies, La Russell.
Hey,
that would be
there
dope.
you go.
That would be dope as fuck.
Yeah.
But also, like, well, he's also a local legend. He's
Yeah.
about that independent lifestyle.
Yeah, absolutely.
I absolutely respect that.
I definitely think that we could connect.
It's
with what he's doing.
realistic in a sense,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then I go back, like I think back to my childhood days, like 18, when I was smoking hella weed and stuff. And then me and my friend would just be like, wouldn't it be cool if we just like hung out with Wiz Khalifa?
And yeah.
But like
Yeah.
but in our heads, because we were thinking like how like, oh man, he's such a chill guy, right? Like,
Yeah, shout out to the Taylor gang. Bro.
yeah,
Shout out.
Like, and then it kind of goes back to like you don't want to, or for me, like I don't want to like meet my heroes, meet my
Yeah.
people I idolize, because then who they are in reality might like kind of change your perception. You know what I mean? Like
You've definitely brought up this concept before, and I guess not to divert to the main question, but the question for you is, it seems like you have maybe a lot of heroes. What is the characteristic of a hero? Like, you've seen them, you want
Right.
to be them, or you put them on a pedestal. I feel like
right. No, I think I guess my like image of a hero is just like someone who keeps their cool. Like
Closure.
in the face of pressure, because I know who they are right there. It's not really who they are,
Right.
and that's what I respect. Because me, I'm like I can never, or sure I could hold my composure, but then there's times where I feel myself leaking through the cracks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So like actors and all them,
Yeah.
politicians even, they make great actors. So like,
Well, a house will always need work.
right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why we have plumbers, and that's why we have
Exactly.
electricians. Yeah,
Exactly.
So
Good analogy.
yeah.
That's why I need a plumber in me right now.
I need that fucking no. I need to leave that pipe. No. I think a lot of the times when we think about podcasters, or when we think about people like heroes or people that we look at, I was actually reflecting on what you said. I just don't know what classifies as a hero for me, or a person that I want to. But I'll get back to the main subject. The main question was, who would I want to see? I want to see more, if they're open to it, right? Someone that can like bring the right vibe, kind of see what we're doing, right? Because what it looks like is, when we have someone on, they look at our timeline and they see the legitness and the quality of the conversations.
Yeah.
And I think that like the first 10 is solid, because it's really showing who we are. But when we start having a guest, there's a level of professionalism
Oh, absolutely.
that comes with it. So we have to do a little research, right? We
Especially
might have to find some angles, you know, to kind of ask the right questions. So for me, I think I definitely want to get. I think there's the next person that we have on the podcast. I definitely want to tap into their inner circle, and then maybe we can build or tap into that community, because I think that it's all love.
Oh, absolutely.
But also, you know, the platform that we have, the platform that they have, it's all you know, it's a collaborative moment. So I think that someone with the right vibe, the right level of energy and intelligence as well too. But yeah, that's what I want. Those are the kind of people I want to interview, and you know, kind of be around this podcast.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
that's a real good way to explain it.
Absolutely. Is there any like industry you want to like tap into, like people like politics? I don't know, like local leaders.
I'm not. Yeah. As much as I like talk all of that, you know, like I'm not really. Not much of a leader, you know what I mean? Like leader type, or I don't know.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. And I think, you know, if we could, I've always been fascinated. You know, when I was into doc work, you know, I always was fascinated. Now, this is my, like, you know, beating a dead horse, but, you know, the conversation about homelessness in San Francisco has been played out. And I remember when I was doing a lot of street photography, a lot of the times, when you do street photography, you're looking for the most interesting person in that scene, right? That might be an intersection or, you know, crosswalk, or, you know, in front of a building. But the conversation about San Francisco street photography is always about lack of architecture. Well, I mean, to an extent, to compare it to Japan, to New York, and you know, we're comparing apples to apples kind of thing. And homelessness, right? You're thinking about like, it's so moody and it
human
has a
shit
message.
On the floor.
But how long have we talked about that narrative? It's so played out, and
it is.
Yeah.
And it's been so played out for so long.
Yeah.
But it just goes to show you that like nothing is being done, or it's or it's worse than what it was before. Because I was thinking about your photography and in the homeless, like the subject sometimes would be in there. And then I remember when I would go like years before.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, just going around shooting thing. Same thing. The homeless like would be some subjects because they're the most interesting characters of the frame, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, it just goes to show you that like nothing's really changed. Sure, we could try to help out as much, but I don't know. We need real
change. Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
The one thing that and I'm not to gloat on my side, but you know, when I won that black and white, you know, film or photography festival, right? The photo, and hopefully, you know, we could post it or whatever, but I didn't want to share that. I shot that in the beginning of last year.
I feel it.
I submitted it in November,
right? And
then we just got the, you know, so I was a part of a gallery. It was a black and white film festival, photography film festival kind of thing. And you know, I was one of the 12 that won or got selected. I don't know what that word is, but the gallery's in LA. I haven't myself gone there, but there's photos up there. And the photo was I was on BART, and I exited BART, and then there was a sign about BART and said, cleanliness is one click away.
And right under that sign was
a homeless person
just sleeping, lying down.
And it was just so crazy. But did I feel like that was the right, you know what I'm saying? Like San Francisco photographer. And I don't claim from the city, and I don't like to use the word photographer. But you know how it goes. But the idea is just like the story's been told, so I didn't really think of it. You know, I thought it was just like, it's so played out. Dude.
No, and that's the thing though, because I agree with you. So when I saw you shoot that picture, it's not a dig on you, but then I was like, I see this kind of picture all the time.
Absolutely.
Like, even if it's doctored in like those other posts or whatever, it's everywhere, you know?
I'm hoping that I got chosen for composition.
Right.
You know, like just like,
because you said this is LA, right?
Well, I mean, they're LA based. Right. Yeah, the gallery is in LA, you know, so it's like,
I'm not gonna like, okay, no, it's a dig, but like, you know, people in LA, if they're LA based or whatever, it's all about image.
Well, the message was cleanliness is one click away. So it's like SF is disconnected. That was the.
I like that though,
because you have to write a prompt. You have to write what like the feeling, or you know, like when you go to a gallery, they have like a little message of like what the artist was thinking, or the time in the moment. And what I wrote was like, you know, it's just like there's such a SF was disconnected, and you know, we can say cleanliness, and we could say, you know, when there's, you know, leaders and there's, you know, politicians in the city, everything's all squeaky clean, but the sign is up, and you know, you're not taking care of it home. So it's a whole thing. Homeless. And so I guess I retract to the idea is that like, the story, when I was doing a lot of doc work, when I was doing a lot of video, I just stayed away from the homeless kind of conversation.
Right.
I love the idea of perspective and story, but I just thought it was just not my story to tell.
Yeah.
I don't think I was embedded enough to be able to talk about
it.
it.
Yeah.
You know,
I get you.
So, yeah.
Speaking of the homeless thing, though, a little quick diversion. Pokemon, they had a new game.
Oh,
apparently,
yeah.
the benches in that game, they have anti-homeless benches. I don't know if you remember that, but when they implemented those, like in real life, like
we're talking about in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you know, when in real life, like you see those park benches or whatever. Before they didn't have like those little arm rests, right? The really low arm rests.
Yeah.
Those are just meant to deter homeless people from sleeping on the benches.
Wow.
Now they're in the game, and it's like, growing up back then, you're just kind of like, damn, this is such an asshole move. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And now it's like years later, it's like it's normalized now into.
Yeah, man. I mean, it is is that a disconnect on their part, or do you think it was more of a style choice?
I think it was probably a style choice, and they just didn't know. Because also, like, if you go to Japan or whatever, any other country, they think most things that Americans do is like it's aesthetic.
Oh,
yeah, no.
Right, okay.
What up, gangsta?
Yeah,
they always do this shit.
Yeah, right.
You know, but
amplifying the American part of it.
Yeah.
That's actually really funny, man. That's actually not funny because that sucks. Because that shows lack of awareness,
right,
as well too. I'll kind of piggyback off that. The game is getting really bad reviews. Apparently, it looks like shit. I don't know well enough about Pokemon to kind of go off like what the other games look like.
Yeah.
But apparently, the game looks like shit. And then there's a new Pokemon Champions that's coming out. So it's just kind of there's a lot of things happening. And then people are saying that that's not like the starting 3 Pokemon that you should be going at.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of hate, man.
Hate.
There's a lot of things
happening.
happening.
You hard. Why are you blinded by the hate?
Yeah, there's a lot of let's talk about the hate. No. But there's a lot of things happening, and it's like, I think the podcast that we scrapped, bro. I think that again, the epiphany. Maybe I was reflecting. I talked about it out loud with Van. I was like, man, the things that I want to do on this podcast, that episode did not represent me at all.
Right.
So I'm glad that we came to the conclusion to scrap that and move forward. So I'm glad that, as a team, we're being aware of what we say. And I don't want to say coaching, but you'll always see I don't want to say 100% of us. But, we're definitely getting to that place.
You guys are seeing 95.
Yeah, definitely 95. Definitely 95.
The other 5% behind the camera lens.
Yeah, for sure. But
can we take a quick pause on the recording? Because I need to pee.
Yeah, for sure. Nice, dude.
Those donuts.
I know, yeah, no, I was gonna grab that.
Yeah.
I gave you
Oh.
nappies at the beginning. That's why you start eating it.
I was gonna
No,
start.
I don't want to go to the frame and be like.
No, you're good. We are still rolling, John. Just let you know. We are still rolling.
Okay.
Just want to let you know.
Soul rolling.
What's up, dude?
What's up, man?
I just want to let you know, Sean. Like, the level of I really had to take a deeper look in that podcast, and I know that when we were talking about that last podcast, you were like didn't know what was going on between me and John, but there's a level of like
I had an idea.
Yeah, you had a feeling, but the level of I don't want to say expectancy, but I do want to claim that title of podcast, professional, whatever threshold that looks like. Does that mean we have to have amount of episodes, or does that mean that we carry ourselves in a good interview? But that just was not sitting well. Yeah. And I also wanted just to kind of directly say, like, if it was any disrespect, I'm sorry.
No, not at all.
Because it was tough for me to watch that, dude.
Hey,
it was tough.
Trust me, I hate listening to myself talk normally and watching myself. So that's why it's like it's hard for me to put myself in your shoes, and that's why I always kind of bring it up. And John kind of was like, "Yeah, we're on episode 10. I'm not really hard judging myself anymore." But for me, if I was watching 10 episodes of myself, I'd be like, "Man, shut the fuck up, me." You know what I mean? So that's always me. But then we knew that episode was very like
tough, dude. It was tough.
We knew while we were filming it, and as soon as we pressed cut at the last second, we were like, man, that was not a good episode. But let's, I always try to see things in a positive light and see what we can take away from it. The only regret I really have is that we spent 2 hours watching it to decide that we wanted to delete it. But I mean, we needed to go through it and watch it, but we were editing it along the way. So even though it was like an hour and a half episode, it was very much like, let's watch as much of it as we can. But
100%, I think that a lot of the times, first of all, next steps, right? Even like for this podcast or moving forward, we're gonna have the conversation of, is this a good podcast? Is it not?
Yeah.
But I think that a lot of times too is like, and what John said as well too is like, it's important to just kind of like take it slow.
Yeah.
And kind of understand where everyone was coming from, but we have to, Can you guys eat the donuts, dude?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and then
Please.
But yeah, man, I just wanted to say I am sorry for that one as well, just because.
John,
It's
John was apologizing too. I was like, dude, I hear you. Thank you for your apology, but like we're all in this together. So
yeah, should we get that thing where like I fucking
same.
repent and I just fucking start slapping my ass? Wait, the back, right? The back?
Yeah. Your ass is the Da Vinci Code, the whips with the nails in it.
The nails?
There's nails in the
Jesus
whip.
Christ.
Or
I was talking about Game of
thumbtacks.
Thrones.
Oh, I was thinking about Da Vinci Code.
Okay, that's fucking weird. Is that is that accurate? Is that religious accurate?
Yeah.
Holy.
I forget what they call it, but it's penance.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I wanted to show you, Rommel.
Jesus Christ, dude. Oh my fucking God.
I would wear this
man.
when I would jack off, bro.
Oh my
When you would be in
God,
Afghanistan,
see?
I'd be like, I hope you're okay, Rommel.
Oh my God.
I hope you're safe.
I don't know why.
And then look what happened. It worked. You're safe.
I don't put it past you. I know maybe in a way you did put it, and I don't like how it fucking hits your chest every time you're checking.
It jangled.
That fucking yeah. Oh my God. I don't know if I'm triggered or horny, dude.
No,
God
we should
damn
probably like hang it somewhere.
Why? Keep it, bro. I gave it to you, man.
Okay, fine.
Just wear it.
Just wait.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine.
Yeah, or let me choke you with it. Anyways,
Hey.
sorry about that. Yeah. We'll divert. We'll divert.
Yeah, no, I only brought it because I saw your post the other day. It's been 10 years, right? Just
Oh
about.
yeah, on my friends list, I talked about it. My buddy, they're all across the United States, and I just woke up to that text, and they're like, "Dude,
Shout out the veterans.
yeah,
My fault.
yeah, no," and they watch the podcast. So I was like, "Yeah,
Shout out the veterans.
yeah, shout out to jacking off with dog tags." Yeah, for
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
I think about you guys too.
Sorry.
Sorry.
All the veterans is crazy, bro.
Everyone up until the Civil War, bro.
Oh my God. North or south? Anyways, no. Yeah, my bad. I was thinking about yeah, that was I woke up to that text. I was like 10 years ago, right? I was like, wow.
Well, someone texted you.
Yeah. Like I didn't initiate that conversation. I woke up and I was like,
That's wild.
Jesus Christ, 10 years ago I was in Afghanistan. So I was like, that was. And then my buddy was like, that's a crazy stat line. I was like, it is. Like, why the fuck? So yeah, we should have a percentage of friends that are still in, or maybe that haven't fucking unalived themselves.
Obviously, you would have probably brought them up, but like, are any of your like previous like squad mates like kind of near us here?
No,
on this
no,
side?
no,
They're
but-
all like east-ish.
More spread around.
Right,
There's not a localized
Gotcha.
I do have a buddy that generally or sometimes and also wants to be on part of the podcast.
Please, no, that's why I brought him up. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was here last time. I won't say his name. Definitely won't put his life out there, but definitely had a podcast with him before. So he
What's up, fool?
yeah, what's up? No. He wanted to every time if he is in the area, he would love to stop by. He came by one time to see the baby, and that was really amazing.
Right, yeah.
Just to kind of reconnect, and stuff is just like the glory days. We don't do that,
Right,
we don't talk about that, but
no.
it's just like what's new. How's the family? What's
How's
going
life?
on? How's
Just
life?
living life.
Yeah, so it's really amazing, and I really hope that he has the time to stop by.
Please.
Maybe carve out an hour or two, be on the podcast, and then just kind of continue life. But
Yeah, I'm just trying to kick it with him.
yeah, for sure, learn a little bit about him, and
Yeah.
it's he's amazing. He's quick. I'll say this, the other people in the group chat are not quick, but shout out to you, I love you. But this person, he's quick, man. Every time we bounce off each other with ideas, and the jokes and the comebacks are really fast with
Right.
him, and I gravitate towards the banter. I don't know if you
No,
know
no,
this,
no,
but
that's-
banter is really
No, exactly.
Good,
That's why I noticed like with you with him.
Oh, you do know what I'm talking about. You know
Yeah,
who that person.
yeah.
Okay,
It's natural. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
even before you guys did the podcast, that's the way you guys would talk to each other.
Oh yeah, man.
So natural. So.
Yeah, I do enjoy a lot of good banter. Yeah,
Yeah.
I do enjoy a person like I've always called it. Well, in the military, I call it busting balls.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, and but that's an old.
I'm busting nuts.
Yeah, I mean, you talk to somebody, in a group, in San Francisco, and you don't know. if they have balls or not. So what you say, what I say, I'm like, I'm just busting your balls.
I'm just pulling your cock.
Yeah, I'm just pulling your cock, dude. So we're,
I like mine better.
We're pulling cock and busting balls,
Yeah.
So, it is, it is one of those things where, good banter. And I will say this too, the job that I have right now, I feel like I'm a personality hire because I didn't really bring anything to the table at the time. I don't know why I wanted to say that, but I've always felt like I've never brought anything to the table at where I work at. And people that are watching this episode, you get it. Because when I come into the store, I'm just like, fuck you.
You feel a void,
I hope I do.
You feel a void in that spectrum where it can't just be all like peachy.
Right.
I brought you to the table.
Yeah. And the representation, it's just crazy because like when I'm told expectations, I'm just like, that's not me. And I've always, tried to stay as close as possible to who I am because I know who I am.
Right.
And so,
speaking of who you are, you haven't drank at all this whole episode yet today.
Yeah, man.
Cheers, except for the caffeine.
Yeah, dude. And that's not saying yes or no. Yeah, I'm always open to it. I've given up this idea that I can give it up. Give it all away.
Right.
Give it all away. Yeah. I take a lot of support or advice from Victor. Because it's a fool's dream to think that celebrate. When we're celebrating. When weddings or
Yeah.
I just don't like the. I mean, some people need to get sober. Yeah. Some people need to get sober for sure, right? I've never said on this podcast, but I mentioned it last year that I was gonna start going to AA, and I went to some groups. I went to.
Hey, proud of you, brother.
Yeah, I went to some groups. Did some virtual stuff, and I went to AA, and it was actually crazy because I remember you brought up the book of
the book of AA,
or something like that.
Yeah.
And I just I had to pay for it. And I was like, no, I don't.
You have to pay for it. They don't give that.
Yeah. And I was like, it's like if I'm going to church, give me the Bible. It's for free. Whatever.
At least can I just pirate this fucking a copy of the book? You could have asked me. I would have probably.
Yeah, can I get this one on the PDF? No, but I mean, it's just like one of those things where I didn't say anything. I just joined, and you learn a lot. You see perspective. You see how powerless you are to alcohol.
Right.
And then you kind of dive into the idea: is it alcohol? The chemical imbalances that we were talking about other episodes.
Exactly.
So there's a lot to digest, and I went to a couple. I think that the community that I was a part of was not me, and I need more people around because there's. I'll say this: when you are in AA or when you join a group, there's a lot more problems than just alcohol.
Oh, absolutely.
Right, and I don't feel like I check those boxes. So when
they're there because it's like a last resort.
Right. It's kind of ski. And so for me, when I did AA, and again, that's something I never thought I would talk about on the podcast.
For Anal Anonymous.
Yeah. AAA, not to be confused with AAA. Yeah. But the idea is like, I never understood if I crossed that threshold, and I believe that I did enough in my life to not cross that threshold to understand the power of alcohol. Now, do I itch for it? Yes, but do I have the power and the willpower to say no? Absolutely, because I don't keep it at the house.
Hell yeah!
I mean, it's in the garage, but But there's not a lick of it, So, even today, right? I'm open to drinking alcohol. Right. Do I need to drink alcohol? Maybe I was influenced by my coworker, maybe this is the real me. I could still do this podcast without alcohol in my system, So
this is a fuck you to me.
Yeah.
I can do this without it.
Hey man, I love you, man, but it's like
I can't say the same. I'm drunk right now.
Yeah, you kind of called me out, but I love you, and I can do this podcast, and these are authentic thoughts and opinions, and I was gonna ask you. I was like, dude, can I rip your vape? I don't know if you have a vape, but it's just one of those things where And also, I was sick last week, so it's just like I was like, do I want to go backwards? But I don't. If you say cheers, I'll never let you drink alone.
Right.
But do I need a drink in front of me? No, I don't. Yeah,
there you go. No, I like that. I respect that.
Yeah,
absolutely,
for sure.
Absolutely. No, I didn't even notice that you didn't ask for the vape or stuff like that. So yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. You bring up the whole AA thing, and then I brought this up behind closed doors, but I come from a family of alcoholics. And then my father, he was in AA before I was even born. All of that.
Okay. So you got perspective.
Yeah,
on that
yeah.
part.
And then his sister, my auntie, they were really close. She also went through AA.
Damn.
But AA failed her. I wouldn't say it failed her, but like she, it just didn't work for her.
Yeah. A
She's-
lot of more variables and elements.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. She succumbed to alcoholism, so like it took her away from us. The doctor told her like, if you don't stop, you're gonna die, and she chose not to stop. So, like you said, it's deep rooted. There's other underlying things because I remember growing up with her. People used to like kind of villainize her, but they never got a perspective to see why she was the way she was. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's like what you're saying. AA is a last resort for most people, but at least you're able to like consciously see like what it was doing to you.
Absolutely.
Like stuff like that.
Yeah, and just to piggyback off what you said, I think that a lot of the times I'm aware, right? Maybe even hyper aware.
And also, real quick, my with my dad and auntie, they were forced into AA. So that's another
definitely different.
Another factor.
Definitely
Another
different.
factor.
Yeah. What I was gonna say was that a lot of the times I'm aware, hyper aware, and the idea is that maybe I could bite the bullet before it snowballs.
Right.
And so I think that that's why I joined. I wanted to experience it, maybe embrace the idea. I don't know if it's circles and or
Right. Cycles.
yeah, it's what you see in the movies. You kind of have to remove that part of it, and you just
Right.
kind of, is my story even worth telling? Is
Right,
it what's the threshold? Like, am I? What do I have under my belt? I don't have a lot of under my belt.
Right. It's like we put it in relation to like what we see around us. We put our experience in relation to it all.
Yeah.
So we don't know if it's right, if it's correct, if it's wrong.
Yeah.
Possibly, yeah. But no one's coaching us through it.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, my therapist was the one to be like, yo, like, and I've always been a big part of like mental health and the idea of it. And people that in the military, I struggled. Absolutely, I struggled in the military, and I'll say that finding courage is more stronger than closing your mouth. I've always said that as well too. Finding courage or finding what did I say? Finding courage? No, I'm so sorry. That came out wrong. I meant to say finding help is the best kind of courage.
Yes.
Because you are putting your guard down. You are asking for help.
You are vulnerable.
Vulnerable. Whoa. Hey, I'll drink to that one. Yeah. Oh, dude, I love that, dude. Look at us turning a new leaf, dude.
Shut up. I'm drinking in a little bit.
There's Jack Daniels in there. No, man, but I think that a lot of the times it's Kurt, and I've never, I've always said this, and I've said this definitely at work. I'm like, I'd rather be a dumbass for asking a dumbass question for a minute or two than feeling like a dumbass for 20 minutes not knowing the answer.
That falls in the line of inaction. It's the same as like doing like the opposite of good. You know what I mean? Like you're villainizing. I don't know how to explain. But for perspective, my auntie, when she would have like psychosis moments.
Oh.
So like for example, there would be like a curtain with flowers on it, and then she would look at the curtain during her psychosis moments, and she'd just like yell and be like, "They're laughing at me. They're laughing at me." Everybody in the house would just be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? What's wrong with you?"
Yeah.
I'm the only one that would like, I was like a kid, by the way. I would look at the curtain and I would notice that the flowers kind of look like smiley faces. And then I realized that that's what she was like talking about. And then she was just having like,
laughing at me, bro.
she was just having a breakdown. And then, but like nobody wanted to, now that I realize now, like, damn, she was like so alone in a sense of like nobody like even wanted to see what was up. They just thought she's just broken,
Absolutely, bro. I'll say two things. One is, obviously, thank you for always, sharing your stories, because I know that it puts us in a spot where like, damn, like maybe in a sense,
right,
I could have, just kind of like withheld, some words, but the words are very powerful.
Right.
And I'll say this: the second one is like, during, with my journey of, therapy and my journey of, understanding, the other side of the coin, I can compile these words intelligently, or I can spew it out, but is the other side ready to comprehend these words? Are they ready? Are they in the mindset?
Exactly.
And then the second thing I want to say is that, the thing about mental health is it hurts because when you are living with the person or living with the problem and you're seeing it on an everyday basis, unfortunately, the problem, or your feelings become hate.
Yeah.
Your feelings
Disdain.
become anger.
Right.
And it's like, damn, you know, you always want to tread, you know, you always don't want to, you don't want to cross that threshold. But maybe after years and years, people get fed up. And I don't know if I blame them, but maybe they're going through something else's, you know.
Right. No, exactly. We're all only human.
Yeah.
Life does not stop for anyone. So, yeah, one person could be going through hell and then everybody else is fine, but then they're not going to take the time to like kind of see, unless the other people have went through hell themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's an interesting conversation because, you know, we can, you know, take a little piece of it and look back and be like, whoa, does my, you know, I don't want to, you know, throw it out there, but it's like, it's family members, people we know.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of look for those signs, bro. Like,
absolutely.
Take a second to just slow it down and be like, why are we angry?
Yeah.
You know, because they're doing the best that they can. I mean, maybe not.
Right.
Tough. Yeah, it's a tough one, dude.
It's subjective.
It's so subjective, bro. Well, yeah, man. I think where we're at right now is really awesome, and I wanted to circle back to what you were saying about, you know, the city. I think that, you know, there's a lot of things happening. You know, right now we got you know, March is coming up. I know that they have like a 5K, you know, Chinatown run right now. Dude, a 5K in my head, I thought it was 5 miles. It's only 3 miles. Did you guys
5K?
Yeah, it's fucking 3 miles. I didn't know. I thought it was more. Half
I
marathon.
think we need to get a fact check on
yeah,
that.
5K is 3 miles. So that's what it was. It was like a 5K in Chinatown, or I think they're doing that for something, but
Stupid American.
No, but I thought a 5K was longer than that, but it's only 3 miles.
Wow.
Yeah, I was so intimidated. I was like, damn, you're running a 5K?
5 clicks, right? That's
Kilometers. 5 kilometers.
Okay.
Yeah, 5 kilometers. Yeah.
Shout out to veterans.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, you know, I think about, you know, those events, you know, those first Thursdays in the city. They're not first Fridays, right? In the East Bay, but first Thursdays. You know, like right now, I know that a big part of the attraction is this called Bay Bridge 360, which they're keeping the lights on, you know, for, you know, because usually it's only the holidays.
I thought they shut down those lights.
They're restoring it.
Yeah,
they're
I didn't
restoring
even
it.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. So usually we do it for the holidays. But now they're doing Bay Bridge 360. Yeah, I don't know if that's the real title, but you know, it's something like that.
I wonder how much it is to like get FWA lit up on the Bay Bridge.
Right? Will you marry? You know, like will you marry? No, because
are you asking me?
No. Maybe, maybe if you got a ring, baby. Yeah. So, but
you're proposing to me, but I got to give you the ring.
Yeah. But I think that a lot of the times, you know, is that really what we need to, you know, fucking put our money into? That's another conversation that we don't want to fucking dive a little bit deeper into. But I think you're absolutely right. You know, St. Patty's Day is coming up too. So what does the city look like?
I remember back in the day, dollar shots at that one club. What's it called?
Would you believe, baby?
Would you believe? And then after every Thursday, we would always go to the fucking pub down the street from there. And then we went
Irish pub.
Yeah. And then we went there. I forgot who we were with. A bunch of people, but we went there in St. Patty's Day.
Yeah.
And I'm over there dancing with older white women. It was fucking hilarious.
And we always leave, you know, when we left, it's on Geary Street. Yeah. Would you believe?
Yeah.
$12 shots. You got like
back in the day.
A lot of fucking shots. But I would say that we always lost people at that Jack in the Box because it's right across, and we would lose people, and we were just like, no, we're going this way. And I was like, I want a fucking mozzarella stick. And
right.
Like, fuck, dude, I'll see you at the pub, and they never show up. They're just like,
you know, amount of
doing
fights
something
that
else
almost happened outside that pub too. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, that's a good time, dude. And I remember there's like an upstairs, downstairs, right? Maybe, right? I remember we went with somebody else. Maybe I'm thinking about a different place. That just Geary in general. I remember just walking because I remember there's like I thought there was like a billiards place there, right?
I remember billiard tables in the
maybe
bar.
billiard tables. Yeah.
Would you believe they had 2 tables?
Maybe
right
I'm
there in the
tripping. Maybe I'm like mashing 2 things up because I remember we would go to the club or the Irish pub, whatever, and then there's like a corner spot where you can get food, like a Burger King or something.
Yeah. It was.
But just those drunken nights, bro. Those good stories, bro. Yeah, I love that shit.
I could never do it again.
Yeah. I think with the right amount of people, you know, just kind of a going out. You know, I talked to my coworkers about it. I was like, when are we going to grab a beer? And it's like,
you guys only get beers like when it's like an occasion, right? Like someone's birthday. Not beer, sorry. Like you guys like go out.
Yeah.
But you don't go out just like, let's go beer.
Yeah, like even today, like, you know, I think there's a lot of opportunities to, you know, see friends, right? Like today, Saturday night. And, you know, I think that just my idea, maybe I'm bringing it up with Victor, but, you know, Victor has given me a lot of advice and I take a lot from his, you know, handbook, and maybe the concept of a celebration, right? It doesn't need to be surrounded by alcohol and fucking, going crazy. Because, my priorities have definitely changed. So I don't think that I need to put myself in that situation. And, it's unfair, it's just unfair for me to, I mean, dude, if anything happened to me, you know what I'm saying? Right.
No,
then it kind of trickles that. So it's like,
exactly.
So I can't afford to put people in that, situation.
That's all it comes down to. And I'm glad you bring that up, because it just comes down to self-awareness. You have a family, you got to take care of them.
Yeah.
And you're already thinking about like what would happen if you fucked up,
Oh, absolutely.
So
absolutely. Every time I cross that bridge, I don't want to say, I hear it, but it's like, I feel it. Feel it. It's just because it's like, what kind of position would I put my family in if, I fucking got... Anyways, man.
No, like I think about my other sister. So like her thing is like, she's like me in a sense where like, if something's like fucking with me like mentally or whatever, like I'm gonna drive crazy. You know what I mean? Oh. So like she's always hitting me up, and then when my sister died, she would text me that like, or before I even found out that she died, because I stepped away for like that little bit. Damn. I didn't know until like an hour later when I got back that she died. But then she was just basically like, nobody texts John like on like until he's back, so he doesn't like go crazy on the road or anything like that, crossing the bridge,
reactive,
exactly,
erratic,
exactly. Because I'm the kind of guy that like when I'm driving and if I'm going through it, I'm screaming while driving. You know what I mean? I will yell until my like vocal cords like break. Damn. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Like that is my solitary confinement area is just in the car. Yeah. Where nobody else can like hear you.
No, absolutely.
In a sense. So,
absolutely, bro. Driving with a full tank of gas, with thoughts, and, feelings.
But but like back to like what I was saying, like it's just back to that self-awareness, and then my sister bringing that up. It's like it just goes to show you like how the people that hold you dear, they're aware of your like your how you can be. Like
I really hope that maybe and we circle back to the idea of like black sheep and the conversation about mental health with family members, but I think a lot of the times I have this preconception or this predetermination that my family will not ever accept mental health in their in their priorities list, and I'm again puts me in the black sheep. Maybe years down the line, they'll open their hearts and maybe they'll see the progress I've made, and I can't allow myself to go backwards, like I've said in the podcast before.
That's the key right there, backwards. And on top of that, like we can't expect the older generation, the ones that lived through it already. Like we can kind of expect them to like try to accept us, but like, again, like I said in the other episode, maybe they will never. But it's the people under us, like your child, the next generation, the younger cousins, the people that actually talk to you genuinely. Like you have the what do you call it? Influence. Like you can introduce them to a brighter life than what you experience.
I'm glad that you said that, bro. I'll definitely share this story. I was gonna say the word fuck you, but I'll share this story, man. My sibling reached out to me, and they had an opportunity. I think they were either drunk or maybe they're in a moment of emotionally driven kind of conversation, and they had brought up to me, they're like, Junior, you never were there, to help this and that, and it just like really, and I was going through my just kind of my steps, and I said, let it all out, you've held this on for so long, there's a reason why you're having an outburst, right? Because we're not opening to the conversation, right? And I think that it was really important for her to do that. But the idea is like the reason why I was disconnected, right, was because to find myself. Like I am not here to save my siblings. I'm not your parent, and I've made that very clear. I'm your brother, and I am very aware of my position. If I could save the world, I would have saved it. But I think a lot of the times too is like
you got to go through hell yourself.
You got to go through hell yourself, and I went through hell. And fast forward, right now we're here, and she has seen, or she knows that I had to disconnect. I had to walk away. I had to be the bad brother
because she's kind of going through it too, right? Like herself,
right. But like I wasn't there to help her, and I was like, and the things I would say to her is so black and white. It's like no one helped me, you know, like
Right,
no one
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
helped me.
yeah, yeah.
I had to leave for the military because I was all fucked up, you know. And so it's like that's not the right answer, right? The right answer was I was in the moment I was not ready to reciprocate or give energy back. I didn't have the words to conform it, right? A lot of the times when we text or we talk, right, moods and attitude and tones are not delivered in a text message. So I just had to pause. I listened to listen, right? And instead of, you know, and I think it was super powerful. And then now, you know, we have a good relationship because now she takes it like, you know what? Thank you for not, you know, going off on me, you know, because now I understand. Because now, you know, she's making moves and years have passed and she understands that her peace, her mental health is way more important. And she's removed herself and maybe she's taking a book, you know, part of my playbook and maybe she's becoming black sheep too, you know? So, but it's not our job to save everybody, man.
Yeah. No, no,
people love that shit.
I don't want to keep doing it.
yeah.
But, no,
not scripted. Yeah.
No, with her, imagine if you did blow up on her, you know, it would probably pushed her down the wrong path. Absolutely. The path that we went through, etc. You know, I think about this all the time too. Like back then when you joined the army, remember, like I was supposed to like want to go there with you. Yeah. Right. Yeah. I knew back then mentally I was not gonna like make it. Like I already had that like embedded in me. Like no, I'm fucking, you know, like probably more than likely. Yeah. But the only reason I bring that up is because there was no one there to kind of like guide me through those emotions. You know what I mean? So if I did have an older brother like that, maybe those thoughts would have never popped up. You know what I mean? Maybe I probably would have. But it's not like we're not about the what ifs. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm just like thinking more about like, God, I guess what ifs play a part in like how you like react to things. You know what I mean? Like you have to kind of.
Yeah. I think that a lot of the times too is like when I was telling her I was like I love you.
Yeah.
And I have to go. I'm going through my own journey right now.
Right.
And you know, I've always said, man, my little cousins too. You know, they're just like, why don't we hang out or why don't we? It's just because we're not on the same level of the conversation. But when you get older, you'll understand. And I told this to my sister. I was like, I love you, but when we get to that point, you will understand the choices that I made to better myself and to actually have this connection. Because right now, I'll tell you this: the progress that she made. Well, I've always said this. You know this. The pain and trauma that we have gone through, it needed to happen. Yeah. It needed to happen to get here. And unfortunately, I hate that, right? To the family members that lost a lot in addiction. Yeah. A lot of times when we don't say things, how many moments and how many, family members we lost. I hate that. Yeah. But you have to go through it.
A hard conversation is like with your loved ones is definitely better than no conversation. Absolutely. So
absolutely. And I think a lot of times I get sad because I've always been me, I consider it, and I've always just thought about people's well-being versus my own. Right. And
but that's when it gets too much,
Yeah, and then I start filling myself with poison.
Right. Because no one else is checking on you the same way that you're checking on them. Absolutely. We talked about this I think in the episode 0 that we didn't post. Right. That you deleted. But,
Right. Oh, between just you and me. Yeah. They don't know about that. But I will say that, Theo Von said had a good quote. He said, it's not the act of being alone. It's like, or something like, I have somebody else. It's like, no one has me. I know, something like that. Very powerful. And you're just like, wow, that's his perspective. You know? I definitely love when we go down these routes, man. I think that a lot of the times people kind of have this misconception about what this podcast looks like, and we can fucking veer off, but
go everywhere.
We can go everywhere.
The podcast in general, like we say, it's a comedy podcast, but at the end of the day, too, it's like us hanging out.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
and the listeners hanging out with us. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Is there anything that any AI usage outside of work as well too, or at your home?
The first thought when you said AI, I just thought about the Trump sucking Elon's feet video.
Hey, Yo.
But I think like that's the perfect like use of it.
God,
That's
dude.
the
And some people think that's real. Jesus
that's the worst part
Christ,
too.
dude.
And on top of that too, if you look at the video, it's like 2 left feet. Like it's literally 2 left feet. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, man, that's actually insane. But yeah, I was thinking about, how can we utilize this tool that a lot of us have maybe a
Misconception.
misconception. Yeah.
What do you call it? I like okay, I remember I said like I hate AI, right? Or I don't like it as much. I like it in a sense where like if you're just trying to use it to like for teaching, like you don't want to spend too much time animating stuff.
Yeah.
Like I see YouTube videos, they're talking about like I watch a lot of like documentary science YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And then a lot of those channels, they've been utilizing AI in the thing, so I can tell that like it's not the best looking stuff, but it helps tell the story that they're trying to tell. So like back to the Trump licking Elon's foot, it tells a story that everyone can like tell.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
got it. Yeah, there's always not to circle back to that, but
Yeah.
there's always powerful plays, behind the scenes. I would say, but yeah, man, I think about this podcast. I like the idea that AI is being implemented in all the right places.
Right.
How to streamline, right? Did you guys ever watch that Theo Von this past weekend with Theo Von with Alexander Wang?
No.
Great, great guy.
You got Alexander Wang on there?
Yeah, he's
Wow.
CEO of it.
Yeah.
So but yeah, they had a very interesting talk, and it was delightful because I thought that
Delightful.
yeah.
Sorry.
What the fuck, dude? Yes. Sorry. Yeah.
Sober Rommel talks
Yeah.
really proper.
Oh fuck. Yeah, man.
Okay. Why are you nervous?
No, I was nervous. Yeah, right. Because I don't have anything to rebuttal on that one, bro. That was made me nervous. But yeah, no, it was It was insightful.
Okay.
Because I felt like it was Theo Von, me, and then Alexander Wang, kind of.
Right.
Because me and Theo Von apparently
Are the same person.
They're the same person, yeah.
You are Theo Von.
No, I've heard that before. That's why I was
okay, gotcha.
Because when I talk about mental health, I often just try to see and try to understand the picture I'm painting.
Look up.
Yeah, but usually I can talk to you. But,
Yeah.
but when I talk about some real stuff, I kind of what am I trying to put together?
Little quick tangent. It's
Yeah.
funny, like when you're thinking of stuff, you look up and you're just like, huh. I catch myself when I'm thinking about stuff, I look down.
Oh, right.
I don't know if that's if there's a psychological thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe if I look up more, I'll think more positively.
Yeah.
What if I'm looking down damn?
Well, I was thinking the canvas, right, is more, right. I kind of put words and what am I trying to say?
I like that.
Well, that's my thought
Put
process.
a canvas up there, right? I'm just looking down. I'm looking for clues on the ground.
Damn, that's good, dude. I
Right.
like that. No, that's actually really. That's really good, dude. No, I'm not. I didn't do that right now, but I'm just I'm trying to figure out fuck,
I'm
why
I'm
do
discovering things about myself.
That's amazing,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
That's delightful. I like that.
Splendid, even.
Splendid. No, but Alexander Wang, he touched up on a lot of the conversations about the policing AI, right? What does that look like? How his business affects other AI models, right? And the AI war, right? So it was really awesome to kind of hear his insights. But I like the idea, and he says that he wants it in the right places, right? But everyone should be on the same page, right? When I think about what that looks like on a CEO level or billionaires level, it's like the creators of the Silicon Valley or where AI is headed. They're all in a room and they're saying right. This is in my head. I'm hoping that they're all like, this is not okay. We shouldn't do it.
Right,
we are
you would
the
hope.
masterminds of the outline, and there's no other foul play outside of this room. I know that's not real, but the idea or the concept of what they're trying to manifest for the future,
Right.
there is a sense of we should always be in control of it.
Yeah. No. I know. I get you. I
Yeah.
I was gonna say. We talked about in the last episode that we scrapped.
Yeah.
Watch Pantheon.
Okay.
That animated series I was talking about.
Right.
It's on Netflix. It's a Max original, whatever.
Yeah.
But they kind of delve into that whole realm of AI and then human involvement with it.
Yeah.
How would you feel about eliminating death and uploading your consciousness to the interweb?
I know that concept has always been around Futurama, you know,
Yeah,
kind of thing.
yeah.
But I think that a lot of times it's not needed. You know, I've been very open about what, you know, death means to me,
Right.
and, you know, kind of what does reincarnation look like,
Right.
and I don't think it's needed. You know, like there was like hey, $5,000 and, you know, upload your brain. You know, it's like, no, I don't need to.
I bring that up because I remember a while ago, you know how like cryogenic freezing was a thing, like so, in like the early 2000s up until kind of recently, they had there was a company offering cryogenic freezing for people that were ill, that like, you know, if they wanted to like wait out into the future.
Oh, wow.
That kind of thing.
Wow.
To find a cure, blah blah. Turns out, downside, all the people that got frozen or whatever, they fucking decayed and turned into slush inside those canisters.
Yeesh.
So like
Yeah.
I remember watching the documentary about the cryogenic freezing. They didn't talk about that part because it's more like if anything, that documentary was like an advertisement for it. But they were
That's
talking
some like Fallout stuff.
right, yeah. But there was this one family. They had a daughter, like 6 years old, terminally ill, you know. And then they had that idea, just like, let's freeze her, wait until something happens. This was like a while ago. And then I read about the whole, they just fucking melt and like decompose and like turn into mush inside the.
Is there ever been a success? Like, is there people like the idea of like what Walt Disney, right? Didn't he?
Right, that's a theory, right?
Oh, it's a theory. Oh, I thought it was a real thing.
No.
Oh, swear to God, dude, didn't even know that.
No. They're saying like, yeah, they keep his body somewhere, like whatever.
That's not real. Oh my God, bro! I thought that was
It's a conspiracy.
real.
It's a conspiracy.
Oh, I
theory,
did not know. I thought it was like
like he's actually somewhere.
Like Walt Disney froze himself, right? I thought that. Did you know that, Sean, or you thought that was
No,
okay?
it's a theory.
Holy
Yeah.
shit! Okay.
I've heard the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
But you thought it was real
the
like,
whole time.
Yeah,
the
like,
whole
yeah,
time,
yeah.
dude.
Like if it was real, then hella more people would be legit. Getting
Well, I mean,
frozen.
you know, you gatekeepers, right? Like maybe
Right.
he got it right, and then he didn't want to share that
Right,
technology
maybe,
with the rest of
maybe,
the world. Wow, dude.
Maybe.
Oh man,
Yeah.
dude, that's a crazy concept. I think that. But to answer your question, I don't think it's
You wouldn't like download. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the idea, like I take photos, the reasonable amount of photos to remember a moment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe that, and you know, not to touch upon these subjects, but when you are in that moment of being on your bed, and there's times I would say that those photos, right, those moments in time, you can kind of reflect back, right? And that's why I actually print a lot of my photos, right? Not digital, digital era, whatever. But at the end of the day, or at the end of the, the cycle, that's what I look at. Just like photo albums and just look at it like, wow, I remember that.
I was gonna say too, like that's what makes us human, being able to die.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, experience the pain. Yeah.
I can't imagine like being uploaded into the internet and then like 50 years pass by and it's like nothing to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't be able to tell the difference between now and then because it's all like instantaneous to me. You know what I mean? Like
do you ever, I mean, and again, not to talk about the AI stuff, but do you ever feel like the word desensitized is desensitized?
Okay. You bring up something that happened recently. I don't know if it happened. It didn't happen to everyone's feed, but it happened to like a lot of people, including me. Remember, I used to talk about like, damn, I'm seeing a lot of death and stuff on my like Instagram For You page on the reels.
Yeah.
February 26th, apparently like hella people were getting the same shit as me.
Oh shit.
Constantly seeing the same like unmoderated, like uncensored death and like.
Oh shit. Yeah. Okay.
People were like talking about like, oh, they're just trying to desensitize us to prepare us for something big.
Oh,
I was like,
okay.
oh shit.
I could see that.
But back to what you're saying, like desensitized. Like I feel like I am. Like, straight up. Like it's kind of like I'm not proud of it. I don't want to be like the edgy like teenager. Like, hey, you ever see this video?
Yeah.
No, I watch it because it's reality. You know what I mean? In a sense.
Yeah. The reason why I bring up desensitizing is just because like I'm so normal to a lot of things. Right. It's normal, right? Death, right? The concept of death, sex and porn, right? You're like the crazy stuff that we have experiences or we've kind of looked for.
Right.
It's crazy. And like I don't know about what rewiring your brain looks like.
Ooh.
Yep.
It looks like a POW camp in like Soviet Russia.
Yeah, brainwashing.
It looks like Guantanamo Bay, Gitmo.
I don't know if I would, be good at that.
Did you remember when they were saying like they're trying to make the detention camps in Gitmo for the fucking immigrants and all that?
Oof,
or bringing it up. But
yeah. No, that's a touchy subject.
Trying to turn this into a political walk.
No, you're good, dude. I think a lot of the times when you when you think about desensitization, I mean,
Right.
desensitization? Am I saying that right?
Yeah. Desensitized.
Desensitize?
Yeah. No,
It's
yeah.
like I want to rewire my brain. I don't want to think that all that's normal, you know?
Yeah.
Like mental health. Mental health is the first
Right.
one,
No,
right?
no,
you
you're right.
experience it, you see it, and then you're just
You're
like,
right.
that's not okay. Why are we okay with that? You know?
Yeah. I think it also goes into the line too, like parental guidance of the internet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We talked about this in the last episode. Like I'm not again censoring the internet. You know, I'm not about like control, like doing all that, but I'm about like you guide people in the right ways that they want to go.
Absolutely.
Because you cannot ignore the ugliness of this world,
Yes.
and we need to witness it so we don't become it.
Absolutely.
You know?
Reflecting on a couple episodes ago with my strong opinion about withholding experiences
Yeah.
with my daughter, it's
Yeah,
like
right.
the world is ugly. And it's just like I would want her to form an opinion versus me not showing them that. That is a crazy
But
concept.
hopefully they don't go down that path. Like, well, they might, because then they'll be like your sister, and then
Right.
Why weren't you there?
No, it's controlled.
right.
It's controlled,
Right,
right?
right,
Like, and with support,
Right,
and
yeah,
a
exactly.
positive environment. But like, the idea is like, who am I to already take them away from this experience? You need to go through that.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
You need to, I think it's important. I think it's important. That's why again, watching this podcast and looking back on who I was and what I said, I was like, do I really feel about that? And that's why I just want to, correct myself. Why am I making this decision already for my daughter? And when we do experience it, let's talk about it open communication, and let's talk about the good and the bad and why it affects my daughter in this way. So that is my goal as a father, to just be more communicative. I think a lot of times that we cut ourselves off because, again, I think we talk about this with we're talking about a lot of the old podcasts.
that's fine.
But like we
give them a reason to watch.
Yeah. We stop ourselves before the words come out,
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
a
yeah.
real fucking shame, dude.
I was on Discord last night with Izzy and them,
Yeah.
and then randomly talking, I was gonna say something, and then I paused right before.
Yeah.
And then they started laughing because they're like, "Oh, you're thinking about because you're censoring yourself because of podcast." I was
fuck,
like, "You're
yeah.
fucking right. Like, I'm
Yeah.
free right now. I can say whatever." But yeah, consideration goes a long way. But
Yeah, man, and I'll say
how
this,
the
man.
fuck do you wear this all the time, bro? This shit's making my neck itch.
Well, I wear like a t-shirt, right? Like a t-shirt under, and then I put the dog tags are not outside of my uniform.
I don't know, man. I'm not a soldier, man. Be a soldier, Preston.
soldier, man.
Be a soldier, Preston.
Jeez, man. Well,
Shout out
I like
Jackie.
it when they all like people, like the guys on the podcast. They like hang out and then they watch the podcast together.
Whoa, that's making me nervous.
Yeah, man. Maybe I don't know.
Fucking whole ass like they have a screening. Like,
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's a cool thing. That'd be cool.
It's cool. Hey,
Yeah,
I salute-
love you guys
salute.
for sure, man.
I'm not even saluting, right? Get this off me!
Dude, I'm a part of you, bro.
I don't want to be a part of you anymore.
Dude, be a part of me.
Get away from me. Get off of
It's a good thing we don't have a fucking podcast together.
Bro, I'm getting red. Get off.
Dude, just take it off, dude. Jeez.
Jeez.
Dude.
Jeez.
I love you.
Love you too,
Want to hit
bro.
that vape? Can I hit that vape? Ski?
I didn't want to offer it because you're doing something.
No, dude. No. Well, I'm not. I didn't claim the title of sober. For
Okay,
sure.
yeah,
It's
for sure.
it's really just the idea, and this isn't
It's control. It's just,
Yeah, this doesn't amplify or take away from the conversation, but yeah, I mean the idea of like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
I'm decorating it. Yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah, that's that. It's not even. It's in the shot. Hell yeah, it's in the shot.
Yeah. Eat a donut, bro.
Fucking needed that, dude. Oh fuck, man.
Good old
Hey,
Nick.
you know who you are at work, man. Just like I can't tell you. I'll tell you offline. I'll tell you.
Yeah, you know who you
Need
are.
that little nicotine hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dude, you know what we should do, bro? We should get some smelling salts. I want to see if
I'm down for
see
that.
how that amplifies our fucking creativity.
Have you had it before? Or
No, but I want to see it. I've seen reactions.
Was it ammonia? It's just ammonia.
I've been around ammonia before.
So I feel like we'd be used to
Oh,
it.
dude, the amplified ammonia that we used to use in Afghanistan. I mean, dude, talk about
So
desensitization.
yeah, okay, yeah. So you did have.
No, I've been around it, but I want to see
Okay.
what it does to the creative part when you're doing art, because I never put both of those together. You know?
Right.
And it makes me think about the artists. Artists is so complex. There's so much layers to it, right?
I love art for that reason.
And there's always a conversation about threshold, and that's the reason why I don't call myself.
Threshold. Sorry.
What song is that?
It's from Scott Pilgrim. You know, Sex Bomb. They have a song called Threshold.
No, I never heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen to it later.
But the idea is that like I think about artists, and that's why I've never crossed that bridge over to a photographer, because I feel like I don't have a body of work to call myself a photographer. We all
Body
you guys
of
just
work
looked at
after how many decades?
Those are good
Decades, bro.
professional work. You know, work that I can put on a
Professional started somewhere.
Yeah, I've been shooting like
You shoot yourself down so much.
Oh God. Anyway, so we're
You're the only one crucifying yourself.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm being. Yeah. Spotlight. No. So what? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll say this: the amount of pain that an artist has to go through. Do you feel like that's needed? Like you feel like to be creative, you have to go through some pain? Because a lot of the times, like when you like make a fucking TikTok video or do something on Reels, like, oh, I do art. You know, it's like the word gets thrown around so much that you just. What does the timeline look like?
I don't think pain always has to be
Associated.
Yeah. Because art art is always expression.
Right.
So why should expression always be about pain?
Right.
Unless you got something from the pain. But like, say someone is just genuinely happy and they're a great artist and they make fucking like these beautiful Monet
This makes
paintings.
me happy.
Right.
Yeah.
That's just enough. That's good enough.
Yeah, man.
Maybe they do come from pain and they look for a beautiful place. You know what I mean? They paint beauty
Right.
because of the pain.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's subjective. That's why art is art.
Yeah, well, I mean, even the idea of like comedians, right? Comedians, their art form. I mean, there's some fucked up people out there.
Andrew Jeselnik, Robin Williams, like
yeah, dude, yeah.
That's why I made the my Tumblr heading "Tears of a Clown," because it's always the comedians that know pain and they fucking express it through their art.
Yeah.
Comedy.
It's funny because people hear it and see it, but then they don't know what they went through to tell that joke.
For them to see. That's the thing with comedians with a dark past or whatever. They've seen cloudy days all their lives, so they make a sunny day in their head.
Some people might say that when you get on stage, that bright light is that sun.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I just made that up right now. Yeah. That was good. Yeah, let's write that one down. No, I think that a lot of the times, what amount of what story they want to tell. It's dark. It's ominous. But a lot of the artists, right? They come from a complex background. And again, I don't know if that's pain, but it's like
it's how they deal with it, maybe. But.
Yeah, that's in a way that and the pain pushes them to express it, right?
Right.
Because even with me, it's like I went through so much pain or trauma. Yeah.
New shot word.
Yeah. Fuck, man. We should have a timer though. Yeah. But you go through all that, and then now I'm doing projects of my own and trying to escape the pain and trying to express myself. But it's the pain that pushed me to this direction. Right. Because I've always, even with my YouTube, it's like there's so many years that I didn't lock the fuck in, and I could have done this years ago, but I was going through trauma and pain.
No, and that's fair. And at least you're still like going back to the art. You know what I mean? You didn't like just shovel it away under a rug. I
know there's so many artists at work that I work at, and I just tell them, I'm like, isn't it just so weird that we try to have a career, but then we always just gravitate back to it in small ways. I had a thoughtful conversation with a gentleman at work, and I asked him, I was like, what does a Friday night look like? Like, what are you doing after this? And they said, we were, I don't want to say same age, but we were like, man, I don't want to call myself an artist or, a rapper, but I'm going to go home.
Is it the guy?
Yeah, the guy said, he's like, I'm going to go home, I'm going to relax, do the wellness check,
there you go.
Roll one up. And put pen to paper, and that's what a Friday night looks like to me. And I was like, yeah, is there any like bigger goal to that? Like, no, but he just need that.
And that's beautiful because then people that do that, but then they think they're doing it just to like he's doing it just to do it, right?
Yeah,
like he's enjoying it. And then there's people that do it because they're trying to make it big or something, and then they just stop because they don't make it big.
Right. The expectation,
right? Exactly.
The bar is set, and I think that's what makes this this podcast beautiful. The art that I'm doing is awesome, is because I'm not expecting to fucking go viral. Exactly. I'm not expecting to fucking do. So it's all for me.
Yeah,
it's definitely all for me. And I think if that guy is listening, because I did say that my expression and my feelings, art. I didn't drop the name, but I have a podcast. If this person is watching that this segment, definitely no, man. That really impacted me. When you walked out of this, you know, when you walked out of that place, I was like, damn, you know, just motivated by, you know, man, you know, wellness, maybe like something that kind of, you know, connected. Yeah. Got it, bro. Yeah, absolutely. I myself, every time we do this podcast and I kind of reflect back, I'm starting to understand, like, be more aware and be more, you know, just have better conversations around people to kind of, you know, talk about feelings. What is that, you know, next step look like, and kind of like be more curious, if anything. But
yeah, I mean, that's kind of like how it was in the scrapped episode. Just constantly like, not egging me on. Well, yeah, you were egging me on, but like you're constantly asking those questions, like trying to think. And then it made me realize too, like I don't think that far ahead, even though I should. Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't. And then I don't know. It's just
no, because I was asking questions.
Yeah.
And you brought up a great point. Maybe I don't think about that moment or that person in time, and I just leave it be. And when I think about that, and I was like, wow, that stuck with me, because it's like, that is beautiful. Because like you let that be. You don't want to. Sometimes when I reflect or when I look back at the journey that I've had, I kind of get a little bit like, what the fuck was I thinking? Right, that comes with therapy, though. That's kind of like trying to, you know, not rewrite, but try to understand why I reacted or blah, blah, blah. But what you said was awesome, because I appreciate that. It's just like, don't think too much of it, man. Let it happen, let it be, and, you know, kind of move forward. But, you know, it happened, you're aware, and that could be all. That's all of it. Mm-hmm. That's it.
If only I could take my own advice too. That's the thing. And you give solid advice too, but you know, I mean, that's the thing too that comes. We give great advice to other people, but yet we don't follow it ourselves. Yeah, I'm speaking for myself.
Yeah, I hope that you know, there's a man. I mean, what does this look like at the 500th episode, man?
And also, like, you bring up something too, like you think back on the conversations. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm the same way.
This means something to me.
Exactly. Like, I will look back. Maybe I will try to dissect it in my head, but then at the same time too, it's like it's good, it's healthy to look back at things to get perspectives, to see how they're thinking and how you, like, myself was thinking. You know what I mean? Like how I reacted. It's study. You know, it's
a balancing act.
Yeah.
It's a balancing act.
Exactly.
I will say this, man. A lot of the times too, the fear of being seen. You know, I have such a weird praise at work. To be like, yo, we heard, or according to your, you know, stories or feed, you know, we have, I mean, the reputation already, you know, like we already have an image, right? Yeah. And I don't want to say like, there's some people that are just like, yo, when's the next time we're going? You know, when we're wild out, it's like, yeah, you know, like I'm not fucking wilding out anymore, bro. Like
wilding out was a cry for help.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
this absolutely. Is a cry for help.
I'm Alex Jones. Jesus. But it's so funny because you know, even when I was wilding out, I had a fear of being seen, right? And a lot of times my alcoholism was to suppress those emotions. Yeah. I mean, my era of just blacking out definitely was a cry for help, dude. I was just drinking for all the wrong reasons, everything. So, and then I also tagged that word celebration to it. And then, you know, talking to my therapist, talking to Victor, it's like, not all of it needs to be celebrated, you know? So, it's amazing, man. It's amazing because do you like being seen? Do you want to be seen? Or?
Oh man, it depends. Yeah. It really depends. Cause then like how you guys like say like, I guess it falls in the sense of like,
I see you. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because when you say no to me, I know that there's there's a chunk I'm missing. Yeah.
I don't want to be like, it's like, I guess it's like I put it on like being put on the spotlight. You know what I mean? Right. There's times where I do want to be seen, but then there's times where I don't. And then that's when I get seen. I'm like, fuck. You know what I mean? Like, no, don't see me at my ugliest, or I want you to see me as a, like, when I have my mask on, type shit.
So the last episode, and one of the reasons why I bring that up is because the last episode, a lot of energy. Yeah. And when we get together, when the people in that room enter a party or a get together, oh, we're fucking making stuff happen, right? And this kind of goes back to that podcast with Victor. It's like, do we always have to bring that energy, right? Do we have to? But it's like, fuck, dude. Like, you know, like we have fun. We have fucking fun, and it's like, I don't know, man.
And I'm not saying the alcohol is what's making it fun.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the alcohol just helps loosen
loosen it
you
up.
know, like that's all it comes down to.
Just amplify
And
it,
then
bro.
I guess like after that first drink, I have that problem of like, I want another one. You know what I mean? It's like just control.
Yeah. I think it's super. And I see you, man, because a lot of the times, man, our relationship together, a lot of highs and lows.
Yeah.
And we definitely avoid each other's triggers for sure, because
we know we're aware.
We're definitely aware. But I think a lot of the times too is like, I just want to not understand, right? Maybe it's just like, I don't know how to put this together.
Well, I was gonna say, like, you bring up understanding, like, if anything though, like, ever since me doing this podcast, I've expressed so much more about
so much more value, dude.
right, that nobody else knows about, you know, like, I'll say it on here because it's up to the people to like to press play and listen the whole way through.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no.
Well, we enjoy everyone that has been watching this podcast 100%. You know, when we see, you know, when I see coworkers, when we see friends,
they're mentioning
and then
it.
You know, on Discord or whatever
Over the weekend,
and there's just high praise, and
yeah.
you know, you kind of understand the concept that we're trying to give is like hanging out with us, being in the room, putting it in the background and just listening to our voices. That's amazing.
Right. I didn't consider that. And they're listening.
Yeah.
They're listening to us.
Yeah. I kind of got a little giggle. I was
I
like,
know.
you just play us in the background.
They're listening to us while driving.
Yeah, man. And it's beautiful. So shout out to everyone that has given us, you know, compliments. Definitely not fishing for it, because I remember I will say this, when those two people said that they watch it and this and that, I looked at John and I was like, you know, because it's like I'm not a compliment person. So I just kind of like, hey, maybe we should just walk over here, you know. Like,
We're not gonna be like, oh yeah, you know, like
yeah. It's like that's what we do. I don't want to, you know. But I definitely think that it's important that we ourselves are aware of the people that this has impact to.
Right, exactly.
And I really appreciate, you know, you guys tuning in and staying with us. Sometimes these conversations can get fucking crazy.
And sometimes they can get fucking vulnerable.
So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I definitely think that, you know, I see it in, you know, sections, and you know, what a great way to kind of do an episode 10 to kind of wrap it up and kind of gift it and kind of show our timeline.
Oh wait, speaking of gift.
Yeah, big fuck yous. No, hey man, shout out to, you know, everyone that's been tuning in. I do love you guys. I will not be drinking for the cheers, but everyone knows this. Sean, get your ass in here. Get on this side, man. Absolutely.
Much love.
I'm working.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheers. Episode 10, guys. Cheers.
FWABOOM.
FWABOOM.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Don't forget to like and subscribe, please. Good fucking podcast, dude. Good fucking podcast.
Hell yeah.
Gee, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Good fucking podcast, dude. You got it? That's just like automatic for me to.